Welcome to the WiSys Agility What's New in Build 567. Today we're going to talk about the new top features and functionality that have been released as part of the 567 update part. So with that, let's get started. The first thing that we're going to talk about is our WiSys Agility Analytics. This is a new product that we have released here at WiSys, and this is our BI/dashboard solution that gives our users real-time interactive drill-down dashboards with your Macola WiSys database or any SQL database for that matter. So it does provide analytical dashboards that can be created in our Agility Designer product, and they do work in the Agility Explorer desktop, Agility Explorer web, or they can be called within the Macola's M10/Synergy Enterprise application using our new Wisys Widgets that we'll talk about in a little bit. So as a note to that, when we first developed the analytics, it was included to be a separate module, and so it was designed as a licensed product. It's not automatically in our standard base product yet, but we are putting it in our standard base product. If you have recently updated to our 567 product, and you would like to start designing your own Agility Analytics, let us know and we'll make sure it's added to your contract, and then it will just require a quick license update and you will have the ability to design your own dashboards. Also, if you know you're going to update to 567, let us know ahead of time. You can email me, krussell@wisys.com or support@wisys.com. Let us know you're going to run that update and we will get it added to your contract so that when you do update, it's there and you will be able to design your dashboards. When we release our 568 build, that will be changed so that it's not required for a license, as it is just bundled up in our standard product. The printer management for our 567 product. As you know, in 566 we redesigned the user security, giving it a lot more feature-rich functionality and allowing administrators to manage security with the roles set up instead of individually user by user. So we've also enhanced the printer management in 567 to go along with that administrative management flow, in that when you go into printer management and you are an administrator, you will be able to see all users there and you will be able to manage their printers and their documents, the printers for those documents by all users, and set them up and manage those. Users will be able to still maintain them individually like they did also, but they will not see everyone, only the administrators will. Alright, our next new feature is the Wisys Widgets within the M10 or the Synergy Enterprise application. Wisys now has available an Wisys Widget to be added into your M10 or Synergy environment in 10.5 and above. That is an add-in that we have instructions how to do that. The file comes with your standard application, and it allows you to point to Wisys Widgets and attach any of the products within Agility Web Explorer, which we released in 566. Any of those applications, be them grids, be them dashboards, be them process grids, those can be very easily added to your M10 menus with that Wisys Widget. Next up, we have our Agility Web Explorer enhancements. So with 566, we introduced our new product, the Agility Web Explorer, and that allows you to design grids and process grids to run from a web interface. With 567, we have enhanced that and we've added list views and dialog views, which give you the ability to add list views drill into a dialog box for easy presentation and scanning and finding data in tablet and phone applications. So as part of that, we've put some standard applications out there. One of them is the IM Mobile MLI list view, which is the multi-level item list view. and also the OE mobile order status view. Both of these give you a nice list view of like the items or the orders. You select that and you drill into it. It takes you into a dialog box that lets you drill into with buttons anything from open orders, open POs, open pop orders. All of those are very easily to drill into and get around it, and they present very well on the screen. These list views and new dialog boxes again are available as part of the Agility Web Explorer design, and that is available using our Agility Designer tool. So a standard product and out there and available for you to use today. Next up, we have our WiSys Agility apps. So with the Agility Web Explorer, we have created Agility Mobile Explorer apps, and they are now available for download in your iOS or Android stores. So you can go out to Google Play or the App Store and you can search for WiSys there, download those applications, and all of your Agility Web Explorer applications can be run from the Agility Mobile Explorer app. Also, with the Build 567 release, we do have a Form Studio enhancement. With Form Studio, we have given the ability to attach to a Design Studio object transaction. So when you go into Form Studio, if you're not finding the transaction that you need, you can now also look at the Design Studio transactions that have been designed. And if that's available as a Design Studio transaction, you can choose that and use that transaction in Form Studio. With 567, there are also various new grids in different areas. So we have some new package views, some package audit views. We've got a new serial lot trace view, and then an easy inventory count pre-post tag detailed list that can be used for a report and exported out if needed. With this, we also have a nice label 6. They are no longer supporting some common features. That is in the What's New documentation, along with how to update if you have any GS1 128 barcodes to work around the SSCC-18 barcodes, which they are no longer supporting. So those are some of the top features that are in the Build 567 release, and with that, let's go on ahead and take a look at the features. So from here, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to open up my virtual here, and I'm going to go on ahead and start up the Agility Explorer product. And in this Agility Explorer product here, as it starts up here, you will see that this is our main screen. And in this main screen here, we have got 2 of our dashboards that have been created with the Agility Analytics product that start up automatically. And the reason that they're doing that is if you look up here in the available startup groups, up here on the left corner here, with 566, remember we introduced the availability of creating groups. Groups are like being able to create your favorites menus or your roles menu. What that does, of course, is allow users that have any tabs across the top to save that or to capture a group and give it a name and start those up automatically, or to hit a drop down and select whatever groups they may have and start up there as part of that application. So with 567, we put in some new dashboards and we created them in a group, and they're in the start group. So when you open up the Agility Explorer after 567 for the first time, if you are an administrator, these do not start up for just regular users, only administrator. But if you are administrator, you're going to see a couple of samples of some dashboards that we have created. The first one is our AR Management Interactive Dashboard. And this is just a dashboard showing the status of your accounts receivable aging. So it's showing you what you have due, what the aging status is of all of that in a nice easy pie chart. And then we have over here, if you have different customer types, it's going to show you the breakdown of customer types. And we have a gauge over here that's showing you your AR turns. Now, some of the things that are really cool about this Agility Analytics is that I can click down below here. We have our grid section, but I can click on my sections up here in the grid, and you're going to notice that it changes my analytical dashboard to meet whatever it is I want to take a look at. So here I clicked on my under 30, and you'll notice here that that changes my reseller breakdown of my customer type here, because it's looking at only under 30. And in my under 30, of course, it's split differently here. And then down below, you'll notice that my grid changed, and all of the customers that I'm showing here are my under 30. So if I click my 60 to 90, I only have one out there that's 60 to 90. Of course, everything is in a customer type instead of a customer reseller. If I click my 90-day here, I can see here's a list of all my different invoices that are over 90 days old. It looks like I need to do some collections here. So this is also very interactive. We've set this up here to be a drill down type of dashboard here. So if I'm looking at this particular invoice here and I want to find out what is sitting out here for Village Bike Shop, 60 to 90, I need to take a look at it. I'm going to double click on that particular invoice, and it's going to drill me into my AR aging graph, which is already out there on your menu, and it's sitting under your customer service. So if you opened up your customer service, here's my AR aging, and that's just drilling me into that AR aging. Here, as the AR aging is, I can see a list of the customer card. I can see all the items or the invoices that they have on there. I can actually drill into the invoice by clicking an invoice button. I could do a reprint if I wanted to go do open the invoice. I can also export the details. So if I wanted to provide a customer with a quick, easy statement of all the invoices listed here in the total balance, I could export this out and then email that to them, and they would have a quick, easy statement balance. So with the Agility Analytics, you can drill down into the different areas, and you can set them up to be able to drill and drill and drill into the products and get to what you need. Another sample dashboard here is the OE processing dashboard. So I'm going to click on that one here. And this OE dashboard here has it's an OE management for order statuses for orders in process for shipping here in this first section. So this is showing me any orders that are here that have they're in process for shipping, and this will show you all of your statuses from 4 to 9. And down below is the list of my invoices with the details of my invoices that are up here. So right now it's showing me all. If I click on 4, it's going to show me all of them that are in a pick status. If I click on 7, you can see I have an order count of 2. And if I click on it, it's going to show me here's my orders. I've got 2 orders out there, and these are my individual line items that are out here. If I pick on 8, it's going to show me 8, all of them that are billed. Again, I can see I have 2 orders, showing me the different orders that are here. Over here on the right side, I have a bar chart that's showing me my booked future orders here. So if I need to see what's coming down the pike for tomorrow, this will list out the next 2 weeks of what are my future orders that I have in the system, which might be important for preparing for the next multiple days here that are out here. Down below here on the right side on the bottom, I have some booked past due orders here, so I can see that, oh, I've got some old orders out here. I don't know why that is. I probably need to find out what those orders are and do some research into them and why they're not moving. So these are 2 of our dashboards here that we have thrown out here for samples. They do start up with the start menu. If you're not using groups, we add that in. If, again, you're an administrator and you don't want these to start up, you have the ability to go into the maintenance. And when you set up any kind of group here, the startup checkbox, if that's checked, will start up automatically when you open Agility Explorer. If you don't want them to start, just go on ahead and uncheck that box, and they will no longer start up when you open up Wisys here. If you want to change that, again, open up maintenance. If you have them on here, I'm going to close all of these. If you do have any of these available groups set up, including the start, remember the little lightning bolt will start them and open them up again for you. With the Agility Analytics, we've put some other dashboards out here. If I go to order processing here, that OE processing dashboard that we just looked at is right here under the OE menu. Now all of these are available for you to grant users rights but that will have to be done in the user setup and given them rights so that they can view that. So they're on the menu, they have to be granted rights unless they're an administrator. Another dashboard that's out here is the OE Sales History Report. I'm going to click on my OE Sales History Dashboard, and this is giving me a 12-month rolling sales history dashboard here. So I can see who my top 25 customers were. I can see my list down here. Again, if I click on my sections here, I can see my list here of the customers down here. And over here, this is my by salesperson. So this is my sales history by salesperson. Over here on my by customer type, if I'm using customer types, I have a nice breakdown here of my sales history by customer type. So that's another sample dashboard that's sitting out here. And if I come into my planning and forecasting, you'll notice here in my planning and forecasting here, the AR Management Interactive Dashboard. That is the same dashboard that started up automatically, same one we've looked at. Again, it's on the menu. You can grant users rights to see that. Another one that we have is down here under Pick Pack. We have a new one called the Ship Stage Audit Dashboard. So I'm going to go on ahead and start the Ship Stage Audit Dashboard. And what this one is doing is it's working with our new scan audit features that we introduced in previous versions. So if you'll remember in 566 in the options, we created the ability to, with the scan audit definitions, you have the ability to turn auditing on for all of the Agility mobile forms. So these are all the forms, and these are custom forms or they're standard forms, whatever you have here. They are listed here, and you can add these to be audited, and then you can add users underneath the audit, or you can do it by user and you can add in the forms. What happens with the scan audit is if I add a form, this is going to audit all of my keystrokes in the Ship Staging Agility mobile application. If there are no users added, like down here below under the psychophysical count by item, it will audit for all users. If I don't want it to audit for all users, I simply come up here and I am going to select the users that I want to run an audit for. So if you want it for the new guy, or if you want it for, performance tracking to see if we're getting better at certain stages, this can very easily be turned on and off by checking the box to turn on and off audits, and then selecting the forms or selecting the users and removing or adding forms and users. But our new dashboard here for this ship staging runs off of the fact that that ship staging audit is turned on. And what this is giving you is the average scans per hour, the average orders that were scanned per hour. And then over here we have some pick quantity scans. So you can see here that each user scanned, this one scanned 240, the pick quantity average, this one 17, the different quantities are here. And you can see by the color coding what was scanned for each particular user here. And the same over here in the scans per hour. Now down below here we have the details of what's being displayed up above here. So I also get my list here, and again I can see the number of orders, hours, scans, and all of that detail being pulled out. So if you would like to turn on the auditing for any of those Agility mobile applications, and you want to use it for something maybe not ship staging, this is a great one to use an example of how to pull that stuff out of that audit trail and to create a nice dashboard for any of those forms. All right, so that is the Agility analytics here that we have. We will constantly be adding new dashboards that we find out there as samples, and again these are standard ones that are already designed, come with the standard product, but you have the ability to go into the designer and create whatever you need in those dashboards. So where do I find them and how do I get to them? These dashboards here work just like all the rest of our products here. So if I want to find out what project the OE Sales History Dashboard or this Ship Staging Dashboard is, any of these, I'm simply going to go to my System Utilities. I can go down to my View All Agility Components here, and in my View Agility Components here I can simply type in OE sales history dashboard, and you can see here that this is in the analytics project. So I need to open up my Agility Designer, and I need to open up my analytics product. So I'm going to select the Agility Designer down here. And I am going to, now here, these are all my last used projects. If I don't have a list of those, I'm going to come over here to all projects. And here are my analytics. And I'm going to open up my analytics. And in my analytics here, these are some lists of some standard ones that we've dumped out here for examples. Here is my OE processing dashboard that opened up. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to select the processing dashboard, and this is all the same as the Agility Designer. I select Dashboard Design, and that will open up my dashboard design here. And here you can see this looks exactly the same as what I had on my screen. To get started here, you have a data source, and under my data source, I can look at the edit here because I've already defined it. You may want to define it in your SQL management and then cut and paste it in here. And here is my SQL, just like I'm creating any kinds of grids or process grids or any functionality. So when I have that done here, then I'm going to come over here into my home, and I'm going to start dragging on the types of my charts or pies or gauges or whatever it is that I would like to have here. I'm going to drag them to my screen, and then I'm going to, this is coming from my SQL query. So here I have my data source, and I'm going to drag them into my value statements and my arguments and my series to select what I want defined here in this application. So I can refine that with my data and my design, but it is a tool that is very simple to use. We will be having a future how to get started with this. But this is a quick overview. It's in the same tool that you already own and really easy to get started here. So I'm going to cancel out of here. And I wanted to let you know that not only can you run this from your dashboard, but you can also run it from our Agility Web Explorer. So I'm going to go on ahead and I am going to pull open my Agility Web Explorer product here. We released the Agility Web Explorer here back in 566, and these you see the applications here listed that are available in the Agility Web Explorer. One of the things that you'll notice is I have my menus here. I'm going to go to my order processing menu, and here you're going to see here is my OE management dashboard. Then down here, this is my OE processing dashboard for the web. I can design the same Agility Analytics screen to be displayed in my Agility Web Explorer. So here, I am going to display the same type of grid in Agility Web Explorer instead of the desktop. So if you are an Agility Web user or you want this displayed on your web, you can come in here and you can also design them as a web dashboard, and you can display the same thing here in the web dashboard. Okay, so here's the exact same screens. It's all available right here. Also, you can look at them from within Synergy and your Macola M10. We'll take a look at that when we go take a look at our widgets. So that is the new Agility Web Explorer product, and again is part of the standard base product and available to you today with a 567 update. Next up, we have the printer management. So I'm going to go on ahead and close these screens here, and let's go on ahead and close out the designer. And let's go back to our Wisys Agility Explorer here. And I'm going to close all my screens here by my favorite new button, Close All, that was put in 566, and it's cleared my screen. If I go into my File, and I'm going to come down here into my Options, you'll see here I have my desktop printers. So I'm going to select my desktop printers, and as part of that, it's now showing my printer definition, and this is similar to what we had in previous versions. But when I expand all of these, you're going to see over here listed before are my documents that I have set up in my document management. But over here in the middle, I have a new column that's listing all of my users. So as an administrator, I can select a document here, and then I can choose which user I want to set a printer for. So you'll notice as I'm clicking on users, it's changing the name over here, and I can pick a printer that I would like this user to send to. So when I have that picked, I go to my next user, and I'm going to choose the next one and my next user, and I'm going to select whatever might be the same or different, and I can manage and maintain all users from my administrative desktop. Now, if you are just a regular user when you come in here, the only user you will see is just the user that is logged in to this desktop. But it makes it very easy for the administrators to come in here and manage that. With that, when you run your 567 update, you're going to update your server, you'll update your clients, and it will be reading how each user is set up, and it will be pulling the existing printer assignment that they have in here. As an administrator, you can come in here and set that up after the server install if you want to remanage that and do it user by user. But when you run the client update, it will read their printer setup for each user, and it will set that up automatically. So you don't need to do anything unless it's something that you want to override the existing environment. So that is the new printer management that allows easier control for administrative users. The next area that we're going to take a look at is adding Wisys widgets into your Macola M10 or Synergy environment here. I am opening up my Chrome, and this works with Explorer, but I have Chrome opened here, and this is my Synergy Enterprise for my company here. So this is my M10 environment here, and as you can see, I'm on my home dashboard here. And I have some widgets already attached here. The AR Management Interactive Dashboard that we looked at over on the desktop, but then we went and pulled it up in the Agility Web. If you have them defined in the Agility Web, you can set them up and also run any applications from your M10 Synergy Enterprise environment here. So here I've got the AR Management Interactive Dashboard that I can run right from within here, and I have the same functionality here to go to the customer card, and you'll notice down here I have the OE Processing Dashboard, the same dashboard. If I scroll down a little further for the widgets I have set up here, this is a PO receiving. So in Agility Explorer back in 565, we showed you that we've put out here a PO Receivings web so that you can come out here and you can do your receiving here from your M10 environment, as well as doing it from the Agility Web Explorer. So you have the same features and functionality in that these columns are bold, telling you that they're edit fields. So I check the ones I want to receive, I enter in the quantity that I want to receive, and I can do my receiving right from here within this M10. So how do I get these Wisys widgets in here? I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create a new workspace. So I'm just going to do create a new workspace, and we'll do an empty workspace, and we're going to call these Wisys widgets. And so I have got my Wisys Widgets workspace, and you can see it's all empty here, but I've got my little plus sign here to add widgets, and I'm going to click this plus sign. So once you have this set up here I have a Wisys, and I'm going to choose Wisys, and I can add a Agility Web Explorer widget, or I can add an Agility Web Explorer link. So if I'm going to choose Wisys widget here, and I'm going to give it a title. Let's go on ahead and add that AR Management Dashboard. So I give it a name. And if I'm multi-company, of course, I have a list of those companies. I'm going to choose which company I want. And then I'm going to say, is this a process grid? Is it just a standard grid? Or is this an Agility Analytics Dashboard? I'm going to choose an Analytics Dashboard. And here is my AR Management Interactive Dashboard. I select that. It's showing me a list of all the analytical dashboards I have out there. And I simply can click Save and Exit. And now you'll notice that I have just pulled this Wisys functionality right here into my M10 environment here. So let's go on ahead and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do it again. Wisys Widget, Agility Web Explorer, and I'm going to grab in my PO Receiving. So if I create a PO Receiving, again, I pick my company and I pick my processing type. Now, that's a processing grid. So if I choose processing grid, these are the lists of all the Agility Web Explorer processing grids that we have out there for things that you can do on the Agility Web Explorer. So here is my PO Receipts Web, and I'm going to choose PO Receipts Web, save and exit. And you'll notice down here, it just added the PO Receipts Web. So I can come in here, drag this across my screen or put it on my screen wherever I want in my M10 environment. And you can see here are the list of my, same as I was looking at in Agility Web Explorer. Change my receiving, check the boxes I want to receive, click my receive button up here, and everything I have selected will be received here. So really quick here, I'm going to go on ahead and receive in 3, and I'm going to receive in 50, and off I go. And I'm doing this in my M10 Synergy Enterprise environment here with the Wisys widgets. Now you can also do them as a link. So if you do them as a link and there are filters across the top, that will save those filter choices depending on where you were at, if they have filters. So to do a link, I'm doing basically the same thing here. So I'm going to go to a Wisys widget. I'm going to set it up as an Agility link, and you'll notice I have a title and a URL. And that URL comes from the Agility Web Explorer link that's there, and that will then save and look exactly the same on the desktop here. So there is the applications that I've added to my workspace, and that's just how easy it is with a Wisys widget and a Agility Web Explorer link. So the next thing that we're going to take a look at is we are going to go look at our Agility Web enhancements there. I am going to open up my Agility Web Explorer menu again, and in here we've added some new applications with list and dialog views, and that one of those is the Agility Mobile MLI list view, and I can find that it's listed here in my main, but I can also filter down to inventory. And here is my Agility Mobile MLI list view. And in here, you can see that this is bringing up a list view of item by item by item by item. Now, this screen, of course, with the 566 release and the Agility Mobile, it resizes. So I'm going to kind of size it down to what it would be in a tablet mode. And it will resize to however small or whatever application or device you're running it on. It is responsive, and I can see that it's showing me this is a list of my item here. This is a list of my description. I know that it is in my main location. It is not binned. It is purchased. It's obsolete, serialized, and the quantity that I have. Up top here, I have some filters here. And I'm going to put AWE for my awesome sauce item here. So again, you can see here's my awesome sauce. It's in the main location, not binned, but it's slotted and active, and I have 234 in this location, and down here in my dropship I have 0. If I want to know more information here, I am going to go on ahead and I'm going to double click on my item here, and this takes us into our new dialog views. In our dialog view here, I drilled in from my list view and I get more detail here. So I'm seeing my location code, which is 00 for my main location. I have my description 1 and 2 if I have them defined. And you can see here I have basic information here for all of my item master and item location information. So I can see my quantities, I can see my unit of measures, I can see my accumulators, all of that information is here. And then you'll notice in the middle here, I have buttons to drill even further into more information. So if I need to see the orders for this particular item here, I simply click on the orders button, and the orders button is taking me into a list view for all the orders that I have for this item. So you'll notice it opened up the IM mobile orders by item for the location here, and I have this order for this customer, and I can see my PO, and I can see the date of the order. If I want to know more about this, I'm simply going to click on this particular order, and it took me into the dialog view for the order. So I have the OE mobile dialog, and now I can see everything about the order. I can see the order date, I can see the ship via, I can see the terms. If I scroll down, here's all my discount, billed to, shipped to, all the information that would be on the order header here. Up here at the top, you can see I have a button to drill into the comments. I have a button to drill into the lines. If I click my lines, it's going to take me into a list view of the line items that I have on my order. And I simply click my back button, and I can go all the way back to my list view here, again from the very beginning. And I'm going to bring up my awesome sauce again here. And you'll notice that I have pop orders. So if I have any pop orders that are out there, or I have purchase orders or lots or bins, if I click my lots, it's going to show me the list of my lots. So here I can see my bin numbers, I can see my lot numbers. Here are my lot numbers. And again, I can see if there's an expiration date, what quantity I have on hand for each of these. And again, these are all designable by you within the Agility Designer, or we can customize that for you, but it's available in the tool that you have for your standard product. So that is the new list views and dialog boxes, but let's go on ahead and let's take a look at them actually on my phone. So right now here, give me a minute, and I'm going to grab my phone, and I have Air Server application here, and it is on my phone. And another new feature that we have here is, as I said, we now have the Agility Mobile Explorer app that is available in your Google Play or App Store. And when we open up my phone here, I'm using Air Server here, and it's going to display on my screen. And here we have Air Server showing the screen on my phone. This is simply an Apple iPhone 6. I am going to go back here, and you'll notice right here I have the Agility mobile app that I downloaded from the App Store. I'm going to touch the Agility mobile app with my finger here. It's checking my credentials. I have this set up here, and you're going to see Agility Web Explorer displayed on my telephone. And of course, I can scroll through the applications here, and all the ones that I saw in Agility Web Explorer, I can also see here on my phone. So of course you can see I can do order billing from my phone if I so wish. They're transaction grids, so it's a little hard from a tiny i6 phone, but it'd work great on a tablet. So I'm going to look for my IM mobile multi-level item view list view, and I'm going to tap that with my finger, and it is going to open my phone up here. And you can see here that I have the same items displayed here. I'm going to click in the item box, and I'm going to search for AWE, my item number. And now it's going to filter down to my awesome sauce. And I'm going to take my finger and tap the view that I want. I'm going to drill into my main location. And it has taken me into my dialog box, the same that I looked at in Agility Web Explorer. If I wish to open up my orders, I click the orders button. It's drilled me into the mobile list view of the orders. I can simply pick or tap the order that I want to look at, And then I'm in my dialog view. I can see all of my order information, my purchase order, any information of its in process and status. I can click on the lines. I can see the lines. And I've just got one line item on here for awesome sauce. And I can click my back button and go back to my list view here on my phone. So this is the combination of the Agility Mobile Explorer app and our applications to find in the Agility Web Explorer, and how easy they are to design and display here for your tablets and your phones, and you can basically create whatever you need to put here on your applications. And that is the Agility list view and dialog box running from the Agility Web Mobile Explorer. The next area we're going to take a look at is the enhancement to Form Studio. So I'm going to close down these applications here, and I'm back in my virtual environment here. I am going to open up Form Studio, and in Form Studio here I will pick a project. I'm just opening up an existing project, the inventory count here. But if you are going to do a new application here, or to create a new form, and you were attaching a transaction, I'm just going to select this particular one, and I'm going to attach a transaction to my count button down here. If you'll notice, down here in the button action, you have a new option here called Agility Object Transaction. And that is where it's allowing you, if I check that particular option here, I can drill into the transaction object, and it's going to show you all the Agility Explorer object transactions that are available. So if I do not have one that's defined in Form Studio transaction objects, I now have the ability to also use the Agility Designer transactions. So one of the ones that I can think of for that particular area is the let's see here, let me find it here. The material receiving dispositions is one we don't have in Form Studio, but I do have it here in the Agility Explorer. So I have the ability, if I want to do that in a form in Agility Mobile, I can now get to that Design Studio WiSys object transaction and use it here. So that's the new capabilities in Form Studio and what it allows you to do there. With that, I will close Form Studio, and I'm going to go back to my WiSys Agility Explorer here. We do have a few new grids that are out here. If you look under your inventory and bill of material, we have a package views that's out here, and you now can view the package items for by item, serial lot. We also have some package audit views. So if you need to take a look at your cartons and your pallets that have been created, you can select them there. You have similar views down here in PickPack if you are a PickPack customer. Here we have the package views by item, by serial lot, and the same for the audits that are down here. So I'm going to choose package views by items. I can do a criteria here. I can choose the status of my package. I'm going to choose them all and click OK. So here I can see all of my cartons and my pallets, and I can see the status of all of those cartons and pallets. I have the ability here to select them, put them on package hold. Package release is a new feature functionality here and available in both IM and in PickPack. Another new grid that we've added out here in the inventory bill of material here, we have this new, I'm going to scroll up here, IM inventory serial lot trace. And in this particular one, I'm going to look at just my particular item of my frame assembly. It's a lotted item. I can pick and choose a range of serial numbers, so I can do a lookup on serial numbers or on a manufacturing serial number. I can look it up by locations. I can filter on date range. When I have my base filters, I click OK. And it's going to show me all of my information for the serial lot trace here. So I did this particularly by item, so I'm seeing all of the serial lots for that item for the frame assembly. I can see the types of transactions of how this went through. So here I can see that I received multiple items here, a quantity of 25 into this particular lot for my CA location. Here is another receipt, MA, 25 into this location. I reported production. And as I click on my item here, whatever I have available here for the item that I'm listed, if I'm looking at multiple ones, down below in my child grid, I see a list of the serial or lot number, whatever I have on hand. And for lot numbers, of course, I get a list of all of those lot numbers, and I have the ability to place these on hold or release. I can view package detail if they're on a package. So if I've got them sitting on a pallet or carton, I can click that button if I have pallets for any of those. So I'm going to choose my lot here, number 21. And if I need to put this on hold here, I can simply check this box here. I can come over here again, it's bold, so it's telling me it's an edit field. Maybe I need to put in my hold reason, and then I can put in a comment of what it is that I'm doing. I can simply choose place on hold, and you'll notice that this lot is now on hold. It highlights it for me here. I get a comment here. When I'm ready for it to take this off of hold, I simply can check the box again. If I don't want to keep the comment there, I can remove the comment. It will wipe out the hold reason for me automatically, or I can do it here, but I choose remove hold, and again it takes it off and no longer on hold. I can also enter in comments and just update a comment too. But it allows me to do some tracing of a specific serial lot number. So if I just need to see my serial lot number for my KL, of course, the more I filter, the more I'm going to get. And then, of course, if I need some kind of reporting on it, remember you can always go in here to your display and export either the top grid or the bottom grid and have a Excel sheet that will have all of that information exported into that. So that's the new serial lot trace that's out there. Also under inventory, we added under the inventory count here, there is a pre-post audit detailed tag list, and that just openly lists all of the tags so that it can be used for a report, and you can export that and save that out. It does sort it and group it out by batch or bins if you have multiples with totals. It makes it easy to create a report if you don't have something out there in Crystal. So that is out here and available. So the last thing that we have to tell you about with the 567 update is there has been a nice label change in the nice label 6 product as far as compatibility with that. So I don't really per se have anything to show you on that, but what I am going to show you is that if you go out to our website here, and under our website under support, we have your Macola online documentation. And if I choose Macola online documentation here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. You'll notice my screen resizes to the words here. But under the what's new in Wisys here, my key functionality here, I have each of my what's new documentation for 567. So if you would like to read through this, all the things we went through, basically there is instructions on here. And if I come down here to the nice label automation, it's giving you details as to what nice label is no longer supporting. One of the things that we do have is some labels with SSCC-18 barcode fonts in there, and they are no longer supporting that. But what they do is they walk you through recreating it and suggesting you use the GS1 128 barcode instead. And down below here, this walks you through how to walk through the little wizard, which will take the font you have on your label and convert that over into the into the new GS1 128 font. And that's what we have for you with the 567 update for all the major features and functionalities. I would also recommend that you read the build release notes that are listed here. When you click the build release notes, every version has those release notes here to tell you all the enhancements and any resolved issues for each particular build. Also, if you are not currently on 566 and you are still back on 565 or an early version, I would very strongly recommend that you also take a look at the What's New in 566 video or the What's New in 566 documentation that is also out here. So if you look here, they cover the exact same information. It's a matter of if you want to watch it or if you want to read it, but you have the What's New in Build 566. This is where we changed the layout and where we enhanced the security. We added a new Wisys database. There's a lot of new features and functionality in 566, and I would very strongly recommend that you take a look at that before you go to 567 if you're on 565 or earlier. So that's what we have for you today, and thank you for joining us.